This podcast is not rated. Listener discretion advised.
Mission 250.
Are you ready to friggin' do this, John?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm recording. Go for it.
John's recording, I assume.
Yeah.
But I have to ask
I
every
was
time.
born sleepy. I mean, ready.
Because he doesn't ever offer up that information without me asking every time, and he's irritated
What?
every time I ask it.
Yeah. Am I what?
Are you recording? Fuck.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, John, are you recording?
Am I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a private thing.
It's a big red button.
Yeah. Big red button.
All right.
Come on. Let's go. Let's do it.
Welcome
Big show,
to the
big
Mission
show.
250 Filmcast. We are watching the best movies ever made, according to IMDb, Stanley Kubrick, Paul Thomas Anderson, and a bunch of lists online. This week, we are watching number 110, which is The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which was made in who the hell knows how long, 1948, I believe. I didn't pull my tab up here. I'm fucking up already. This is not good.
Oh, he doesn't have his
are getting
tabs.
worse.
Look
My
who doesn't
tabs,
have the
dude, I fucked it up.
tabs.
The
Jesus.
synopsis of this movie is Fred Dobbs and Bob Curtin, two Americans searching for work in Mexico, convince an old prospector to help them mine for gold in the Sierra Madre Mountains. And this week, John, why don't you tell us what you think of this old hero movie?
Well, it was okay.
Always.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair
I'm
assessment.
feeling middle about this one. And
I
Yeah.
really liked it as a spoiler. So
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good,
Okay.
good.
So it
That's
won't be
good.
all medium or negative this
Well,
round.
I mean,
That's good.
as another spoiler, I didn't hate it. So,
We're taking your steam away, John. But you said okay, so we're going to spice it up.
I
this
wasn't
time.
giving you much to
No.
work with right there.
No.
So it's
yeah, so
it's
that's
just like-
John's done. It was
it's like,
okay.
hey,
All right,
Still my
thanks.
thunder there, Denny. I was really
Why was
on
it
a roll
okay,
there.
John? Why was it very middle
I
of
had
the
a lot
road
of
for you?
mediocre passion there.
What's wrong with Bogey, huh? What do you got issues with
Bogey
Bogey?
is great. I actually like Bogey. No, great. I think it leads me to believe the sort of on the waterfront comparison where people said that before that film, even the acting was still different and it was still much more rehearsed seeming and less natural. And I feel that way about these characters too. The dialogue comes really fast and snappy, and it does seem very rehearsed and professional, sort of. And that seems to be really striking in this gritty, revenge-soaked environment. So I think that's one thing that sort of takes me out of the film a little bit. No, but Bogey is still great to watch. Some of the acting seems, and again, arguably, like Huston is a great actor, John Huston's dad. But
Walter
typically in the end is like, oh my God, the forced laughter there was just like, whoa.
Oh, God, what the
Oh,
That
really?
was-
I loved that.
Yeah. Did you love it?
I loved
Because
it, yeah.
It just bounced right off of me. I don't know. I mean, it was
me
just-
too. Yeah, me too. Come on, son.
Can you see the big joke the guy just played us? Put that thing we got from the mountain, stick it right back in there. Pretty good. I thought it was an old guy going crazy.
I'm impressed by your impression.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there. I wasn't like there with, feeling it. I mean, Bogey did a great job of showing his being suspicious and being consumed with jealousy, which I thought was well done. And that makes for an interesting film, as far as a Western goes, especially. Which
Would you call this a
really
Western?
Is it a Western, though?
No, it's not. I thought it was. Sorry. So, but
I mean, it takes place in
and
the desert. They film it in the same place as Westerns.
Yeah,
and there's a scene
there
where they're
are
laying
horses.
behind rocks shooting at people.
The studio
Yeah,
executives thought that's what it was going to be. Like, what's his name? Warner thought that this was going to be kind of a Western film. He didn't understand this.
I believe
was
his
going
first
to
name
be
is Time.
Well done.
Thank
No.
you. That's it for me. All right, guys. I'm backing up
All
from
right,
the mic.
that's
all I
it.
got this week.
Stop recording.
Oh man, that was terrible.
I'm proud of myself, John. Just know that.
good.
Know that as you
Good.
move
He
on,
went,
that I'm
look,
proud
he
for
went
that.
for the bit. He went for the bit, and he stuck
did.
with it. So, that's respectable.
So I don't feel like I have a whole lot to say about the movie. Bogey was great. I like the characters. I like the idea of the story. And I saw this on the Wikipedia page too, so I don't know if I thought of this myself. So meaning I probably didn't. But the idea is like, I think the movie would have been more interesting if it showed the transformation of, say, Bogey was like a better person than he appeared to be right from the beginning. It's not like his greed transformed, or the presence of the gold transformed him into something terrible. That was kind of always there from the beginning. He wasn't that great of a guy.
Disagreed.
No, he wasn't.
Just because he was a
No, he
bum
wasn't.
doesn't make
He
him a
was-
bad guy.
He was a bum.
Yeah, he was a bum, but he wasn't.
But he wasn't
stealing
trying
from
hard
people
enough. He almost didn't take that job. He's like, oh, what's the pay? I was like, dude, you don't work. Take the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's living pretty
Lazy
nice
fuck.
though. Like, as a bum, he's getting money from all the rich Americans in the town.
Yeah, how about a fellow
Or
American?
you can see too, like immediately he gets money and he goes and spends it on himself right away to do something like nice. That's probably something he
like
doesn't really need to afford.
Right.
Yeah, but he goes and just spends it right away. Or even when the guys are like saying, what are you going to do with the money? And he has no plans other than to do good things for himself immediately when he gets back. And I think that makes for quite the contrast with the other two characters in terms of thinking about how they might plan their future or what they might do for themselves.
That's why I liked him as a character. He seemed like a realistic character. Like I don't know. A lot of Hollywood movies have the thing where it's like a good guy and all of a sudden he's bad by the end, and it's a pretty unrealistic arc of somebody.
That is also true, right? So yeah, I think you sort of take the idea that if you just sort of read the plot and see what Huston's character is saying, it's like, oh well, the gold changes a man, and that's not what happens here. It just exacerbates some qualities that he has already, sort of. Because the other two guys, while they sort of get suspicious or whatever, they're still sort of good natured. And they don't plot against each other.
Did you see a murder in Bogey's character in the beginning, though?
Well, so one thing that was really odd was that they decided to kill the new guy. Like all three of them go up with their guns and they're about to kill him.
Yeah, and even Curtin, when Bogey was in the collapsed mine, he turns around and starts leaving.
You're right. So there's that too, I guess. So you're right in that sense that you see them wrestle with it a little bit. Curtin, what a name for a guy. Curtin. That's Curtin there. That's his brother Drapes.
All right, John, now you can leave.
Yeah, now I can go.
TC, it's all you, buddy.
You got three strikes here, man.
Yeah.
No bad puns, dude, or we have to shut our computers off.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
Apple will take us down and not tell us why.
It'll just blow up. The whole podcast will just explode.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We've got this AI that detects groans.
And yours is at an all-time high for your show. Yeah.
Keep going, John.
I was going there. I was going for a little bit.
And then you distracted yourself with your terrible joke.
Yes, I did. Yeah. And now I'm a little bit lost. The character. What's his name? What is the name of the Huston's character? Dobbs? No,
Huston's character.
So Howard. Is he the origin of like the stereotypical gold miner guy? Because he does the jig.
Oh, dude, the jig was so good.
Oh, was it?
You didn't like it either? I was laughing, and I enjoyed it a lot.
It just seems so weird. It was like, I don't know. That was weird.
Dude, I don't know. Really? TC, what did you think about it?
I didn't think one way or the other.
He's like, oh, it's a jig.
That's a jig.
Yeah, guys, he's a weird old man. They're mining for gold. And it's what someone like that would do.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess realism, it was kind of realistic. I didn't really ever stop and think that it was like, oh, this is an acty little movie. I thought Bogart was really good. I thought that the Curtin character was like convincingly a normal type of guy, which was kind of boring, but also necessary to kind of add realism to the other two characters.
He was likable. And I guess Ronald Reagan was almost going to play that role, or they wanted Ronald Reagan for that initially.
Yeah.
Which would have been weird.
That would have been weird.
But no, Curtin was likable. And again, I liked Howard's character a lot. I liked how fast talking, sort of wise, but I like the approach where he's like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, we're all going to probably kill each other, but that's okay. He like anticipated all of this. He's like, yep, it's probably going to.
He's done it before. I wonder how many fellow miners he's like seen kill each other, kill themselves.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, let's go. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I just sort of like that. That approach was nice. Let's put the mountain back the way we came. That was weird. That was also out of left field.
Yeah, that was. And then
I just wasn't expecting that, but okay, that's a little
nice.
Soft touch there, I guess.
It is nice.
Why is that weird? I'm sure some people did that.
It seems weird for the time. I'm sure most people did not do that. It does seem a little weird for the
time. Yeah, and
do you know a lot about the 1800s and digging for gold?
I know so many things, Denny.
Yeah, so it is actually a good thing that you're using your knowledge of that time to say whether or not it's
fake.
Normal or not.
No, I don't know.
I don't know if it was normal or not, but given the characters and the way they talked up to that point, I was like, oh, well,
I'd probably leave all the shit. Like, maybe we'll come back someday. I don't know,
dude. The Howard character, he mentioned it. He's like, best not to think about women up here. So, and he's been doing this his entire life. So, right. I mean, the only real relationship he's ever had was with mountains, and like, Because I mean, I don't think he
Well, that makes
cared
some
for
sense.
the
I
other people.
just think that,
okay. All right.
They didn't really directly allude to any of that. I mean, I like the idea, but it just sort of like, I was like, what? Oh, okay, guys. Okay.
Thanks, Mountain.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like if you go hunting and you kill a deer or something, but then you honor the deer in a weird way, or like it's the same thing.
Yes, it is, and I'm just trying to say that it was a surprise to me when he did that. I was like, what? That's all, because I hadn't seen any like hints that something like that was going to happen. So
Yeah.
And no, I understand. It's a respectful thing to do. It's fine.
Landscapes. What did you think? Cinematography.
Yeah. I don't know if that is
Yep,
part of what
certainly some
influenced so
cinematography
many-
in there.
Yeah,
There certainly was a
some
thing, Danny.
Well, I know, but it was also one at the time. It was unusual to actually go shoot on location.
Well, what? You didn't notice the fucking paintings in the background for most of the shots? I did.
No, they were on location.
They were
so
on locations, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the one scene at night where they were sitting in front of a fucking backdrop where the cloud didn't move for 6 minutes straight. So
What? You ever been to Mexico, TC? The clouds sit
don't move
still
there,
in Mexico,
man.
TC.
Jeez,
Wait,
dude.
I don't know if you're just speaking from your little local experience there, but you may not know what
But,
you're talking
like,
about.
dude, close to the equator, clouds don't move, bro.
That's right.
The cloud also didn't move when they were waving goodbye to the mountain, so that might have been a
Yeah.
painted shot too.
There's a bunch of them.
They filmed a lot of the outside camping scenes on location, but they also filmed some of them in Hollywood. I'll get into it. It'll just be a trivia heavy episode, it sounds like.
Oh, well then.
Probably.
But I do like the idea of Bogart being so willing to play such a jerk, such a terrible, terrible person, and doing it well. And I like that a lot too. I don't think he really hammed it up or anything either. And the idea of being like going a little crazy towards the end in terms of his paranoia, I thought he did a really good job of that.
Agreed.
So I mean, it was believable and scary.
It was just stupid, though, because the guy exhibited none of that.
Which guy? Bogart?
The guy kept fucking being so worried about.
No, Curtin. You know, he didn't exhibit anything.
Nothing. Like, he had not at
Yeah.
one point in time in the whole movie did he ever do something that would make him be like, that's shady.
He's always so nice.
Yeah, he was such a nice dude.
Well, he went out like at nighttime. Like they showed you all this.
Right.
He went out at nighttime when, there was no reason for him to go out. He was just checking on his shit because Bogart went out because
Right.
Howard went out.
Well, he was starting to get a little suspicious, I guess. But also, you've got somebody and you shoot them twice point blank and they don't die.
He only shot him once.
No, he shot him twice.
Shot him once.
He said the curtain boy said he shot me again after I was down on the ground just to make sure.
But he
You heard
didn't.
two gunshots.
Yeah, but he didn't.
There were two gunshots.
There was
two.
one
There were
gunshot.
two, I
There was
thought. I thought
one.
there were two.
Definitely
Two
one.
gunshots.
I think there were two.
Oh man.
I'll bet one of you guys. I watched this movie twice.
God, how did you do that?
Commentary track.
I watched it like, I don't know, once. Half of 2/3 of
Half
it,
awake.
most likely. Yeah,
He
like
had
barely paying attention.
Two bullets.
Says what?
Typically, when there's two bullets, there's usually two shots.
Yeah, they were fixing up one shot in his shoulder.
So you only hit him once, is what you're saying.
I
he only hit him once.
saying the guy
I-
pulled the trigger
pretty
twice.
sure
I only
I'm
heard
pretty
one bang,
sure-
and then he walked
Really?
out.
I thought I heard two bangs. I thought you heard a bang bang. And then I'm
I think he did a bang bang. I think he did a bang bang.
Yeah, a bang bang. I'm pretty sure
bang,
Curtin
bang.
said he shot me once again after I was down just to make sure.
He did say something like that, but that was confusing to me because there was only one gunshot.
I think you might have missed the
Shoots
second gunshot.
Curtain. Dobbs shoots Curtin. Let's see.
Twice. Put in twice.
I'm just going to watch the clip on YouTube.
Oh, shit.
Hey, did I know you from somewhere? Maybe I know you. I'm just watching this other
Maybe
clip. It's
I
not-
know you.
Yeah.
We don't have no badges. We don't need no badges. We
Yeah,
don't
I
have to
know
show
I
you
did
no
it.
stinking badges.
I did not know
Great.
this movie was the origin of that. There is what is the more modern movie that does that line? I think
Blazing
there's a-
Saddles does that, I think.
Oh really? So
Oh,
I mean,
really?
a lot of I've heard that a lot too, and I was like, oh, this has to be the original moment where that happens.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
TC, you want to say anything on this one?
I mean, I'm surprised I didn't hate it. So for a 1948 movie, it definitely moved along in a way that wasn't too boring. The little things bothered me, like the painting in the background. I think once I saw that, it's not that it bothered me in the sense of like, oh, that's like lame. It's just like, oh, right, I'm watching something from 1948. And then I had a hard time just like staying focused.
The painting
also
ruined
very
it. That
tired.
shitty painter.
No, it's not the painting itself. It's just like, I don't know. I forgot that like old school Hollywood would do shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
And instead I'm focused on the fucking painting. I'm not even focused on the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a personal problem more than anything else. I mean, I don't know. The acting was okay. I mean, it's good. Sometimes it was a little over the top, but it wasn't anything that I wasn't expecting from 1948. So yeah, I didn't hate it. So I guess that's something.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
And you did cram this movie in between a bunch of other things.
Yeah, right. So I was trying to like get it over with. So I was,
Yeah. Trying
exactly
to speed up time to
focused.
get to things afterwards.
yeah, like, hey, I'm gonna have more fun once this is over. So hey, guys, let's go.
Maybe watch it on 1.25 speed, maybe on 1.5
I wish they could do that. If I could do that, that'd be sick.
Can't you do that?
Cruising right through. Not on Amazon.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I rented it. So
I get the DVDs. I watch the commentary on 1.5. It's necessary.
that's smart.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I love this movie.
Love or liked it a lot.
Like this is
'Cause
probably
your
one of
version
my
of love. That
favorite.
could be a lot of things.
This is like the favorite one of the old ones, like pre-1950s. I think that we've watched so far.
Okay, so that's the way to preface it then.
Yeah.
Of the old movies, I love this movie.
Yeah, new movies are
There you
better
go.
than this for sure. This movie still, I thought, held up like extremely well. I personally didn't notice the acting. I thought it was pretty good. The characters I just thought were odd kind of people.
Do you think you're just getting used to the old timey actors now from watching all these?
Maybe, but also I noticed, I don't know what I can compare this to. What would you guys compare this type of movie to? I'm not sure I've ever seen a movie like this before.
Listen, all right. I just pulled this up on YouTube. 2 shots in quick succession.
Did you listen to it?
Yes.
Can you send me a link?
2 shots. Well, yeah, it's an interesting...
Johnny,
let's
2
see.
shots over here, ladies and gentlemen.
I watched the movie twice. It's the best movie ever.
I watched it in 1.5
All right, I
speed.
retract
I
my
didn't
statement.
know
I
it.
fucking hate this
I must
movie.
have watched it in 1.5 speed because I only heard one shot.
It's probably why at 1.5 speed the sounds and shots meshed together a little bit.
At 1.5 speed, it goes all
Yeah,
together
you're
a little
right.
bit.
At
I didn't
1.5
notice.
speed. they were to be honest.
Probably what happened.
To be fair, they were pretty quick.
Sometimes when you watch it at 3.5 speed, you can't get the sounds
I
different.
didn't even know it was a gunshot.
Doesn't shoot him at all. I'm like, what the hell happened, man?
Just on the ground. I didn't know what was going on. I got scared, man.
I'm gonna say I don't appreciate the impersonation of my voice. Yeah, I was watching at 1.5 speed. I was a gunshots
But that's what makes this so funny, Denny. This is what makes the joke funny.
You got a good impression of you, Denny.
Yeah.
You sound almost just like you.
Wow, it's uncanny.
Yeah.
Really.
And if you put the podcast at 1.5 speed, you really can't tell the difference. It's the exact same.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Because we're slow.
Are you gonna send me the link, John?
talkers.
Yeah.
I can hear keys clicking on his side of the microphone.
Clickety clackety
I can
clickety
just message you through Skype here.
I think so. Oh, God, I don't know how to fucking receive messages through Skype once a morning on a goddamn phone call.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
hilarious.
if you
right?
can.
Ooh, open conversation. Ooh, John is typing. Very exciting. Oh, there we
it
go.
goes. I got it.
Click.
It's interesting how they present it, which
It is
probably like
Woman watching. Oh, it's the entire movie with a woman watching it.
yeah. I mean,
DC, click on this. It's pretty
it
funny.
maybe somehow
God.
you can circumvent
that's
like
loud.
automatic detection of showing the film.
That's actually pretty
Oh
good
my
quality.
How about the woman with the fucking remote?
Yeah.
I love it.
So what you're seeing in this video, for some reason, there's just a woman standing there holding the remote to the TV, and then the movie itself is much smaller and projected onto the TV.
Right.
Yeah, to like get past sensors, right?
Yeah, they must not. The
imagine, yeah.
algorithm must not be able to pick it up. But like, what I don't understand is what's the worth of this? Like, who's going to sit here and watch the whole movie with it crooked?
I don't know.
I
but
would for
you got,
free.
like,
All right, I'm right here. Be quiet. Everyone be quiet.
Almost 30,000 views.
There we
Please,
go, 2
please, thank you.
shots.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2 shots. God damn it.
Yeah, it is.
It's so confusing because it's so undefined. It's like, you know,
That was that 1.5. That's what
That 1.5.
So
Fuck me up, guys.
how do you shoot him twice and he's still alive, huh?
the sound quality was pretty bad in this movie. I'll give it that. The fighting punches.
Otherwise, you'd have clearly heard the 2 shots.
Yes,
so.
I'm going to
Yeah,
start
I
getting
mean-
negative now
reason.
because I
They were
got
just on
proven
the-
wrong.
They were just on the opto track. Like, it was just like on their track, right? On the film at that point still, I think. It's just like it's part of the film reel, right? And it was not a very good. They hadn't.
well,
really.
gunshots apparently,
I can't
according
remember.
to at least like the Heat commentary track, is that all the old gunshots use the same stock gun sounds
Right. That makes
until
sense.
the early 90s, which is
Until
fucking
the early
weird.
90s.
Till
Holy
Heat, yeah.
shit.
And I mean, it kind of sounded when they were doing like that cowboy and bandit scene. Those were all like old school, shitty Western gunshot sounds.
Right. It's a sound library.
And just to do like the one scene I thought I might not like this movie in was when they were doing the fight in the bar scene to get their money from that asshole.
Oh,
worker
that
guy.
was fucking pathetic. I've never seen a worse fight in my
It was
life.
pretty bad, I thought.
Was it just because they hadn't mastered the fighting on screen yet or something?
It took like
or what?
5 days to shoot, I think, if I remember. It was like a pretty
Yeah, and
complicated.
some people say like it's one of the most brutal fight scenes ever put to film, but
What?
the punch sounds were like off
they
and they
hear-
were weak.
Did they see what I saw? Because
Yeah.
I've never seen two guys go for the legs more often in a fight in my life.
There was a lot of leg grabbing.
Why are you going for the legs,
It's
dude?
a desperate move, isn't it? It's like you've already given up. It's kind of like a please
You're
don't punch me in the face
two
again.
on one. You kidding me? You don't go for the legs. The fuck is wrong with you? That was bothering me. I'm like, come on, this is so stupid. There's two of them. Why is this guy beating them up? Ridiculous.
But I don't know. I think I'd recommend this to people. And you guys didn't hate it, so that's
I didn't
something.
hate it. I think if I had a friend, if I had a friend,
if I had
that,
friends.
it's for that one thing. But like, if you had a friend that actually liked these old timey movies, I might
Or
tell them
dark
to
dark
watch it.
films, because
Yeah.
this it not the usual.
Yeah, like that was one of my favorite parts of it was I expected this 1948 to have kind of a happy ending, but it totally doesn't. It's like a
No.
pretty sad ending, and
You
it doesn't
kidding?
do it in like a.
Happiest ending ever. That was such a happy ending.
I mean, that was kind of. I think I might have liked that because by the time they were like walking with the horses, and it was close to the end of the movie, I was like, I really hope that they get back with the gold. Like, I kind of really want them to bring back the gold, even though they're all kind of assholes. I don't know, just for some closure for myself, I guess, when I was watching it. Because I mean, the way the movie felt to me was that I really felt like I got like a good idea of how much of a pain in the ass this little journey, this little hike, this like 8-month hike
little
they
hike.
had.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all they had. They had a
Serious.
couple of donkeys and they hiked up into the woods and they dug in the ground and then they hiked back down 8 months later.
That's a hell of a job, huh? Fuck that.
The way they showed like all the different little tasks, the way they described someone like the layman, like Bogart's character and Curtin's character who had no idea what gold mining was all about, and then they had the expert tell them like how difficult it actually was and how tough it was to find it, and then like all the processes that were necessary to like bring it out of the ground and shit like that. And then even after that, you still have to break everything down. You have to survive your walk home, and you have to like trade it in. It's just like they did a really good job showing how, I don't know, like it didn't glorify gold digging at all, you know, which was cool because I always thought of gold digging as like being pretty glorified. It's like you hike out there, kind of. I never really thought about it before.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just labor. That's what I would have.
But you can hit it big,
hard work.
right?
The same thing with oil, but it still would have been a fucking pain in the ass.
Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with oil, you need, I don't know, gold you can put in your pocket and you're probably rich. I thought like all the rope tying and like walking around and doing the chores and stuff. Listen to myself talk. If I told myself I would like the movie for that, I would hit myself in the face. But that's
I really
why
like the
I
fact that
liked
there
it.
were chores in this movie.
Well,
it was
then
pretty awesome.
Yeah. Man's got to keep his word.
It just made all the people going insane and jealous and stuff believable.
makes
'cause It
sense.
was just like,
Yeah.
man, they're hot
Right.
all the fucking time. They're sweating. They sleep with their fucking boots on most of the time. They have the thing open because it's so hot. They're probably getting bitten alive by mosquitoes. The guy almost fucking died in a mine. Like, they have to carry guns around. They're afraid of all these bandits and shit that could just come and kill them, and nobody would save them. Like, they're in the middle of nowhere. I thought it was all pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's
Nice.
that's all I got, guys. 28 minutes, the shortest episode ever. Not quite. No, I got a lot of trivia. But you
Yeah,
guys will
trivia.
love
40 minutes
this.
of trivia. Here
You
we
guys
go.
will love this.
All right, let's
Um,
settle in here and take my boots off.
Did you guys? I got a couple questions in the plot first, not to throw you for a
Right.
loop.
Not to derail.
I mean, not
all
that either of you seemed like you were too into the movie, but I don't know. Was the talking to himself at the end? I kind of find that a little like, even though they showed him talking to himself before, it seemed more like an upset little kid. But when he was all by himself at the end, it was just like full on
Raving
theater.
lunatic.
It was like
kind of
a, if you watched a theater show of like some Shakespeare shit and
thing.
someone
This is his Oscar moment, sort of. I don't know.
was that it? Do you think the Oscar moment?
Maybe it feels like this is the time to really kind of play that up. I thought he was just acting delirious and fine. I didn't see it as too over the top because I still felt like I didn't feel like a lot of it didn't seem too natural up to that point anyway. Even though I thought it was good, it still felt theatrical. So that just
I thought
seemed
the best piece of acting by Bogart in the movie was when he was waiting for Curtin to fall asleep, and for some reason he had way more energy than Curtin to like he wasn't even close to falling asleep. I don't know why, But
Yeah.
as soon as Curtin
What
falls
was that
asleep,
about?
I don't know. Maybe just like he had murder.
Yeah, like I mean, what is he just staying awake while Curtin? Because that was the one night that happened.
no, yeah.
and
Once they did that little standoff with a gun,
Did he
that
stay
they
up
didn't-
all night?
Yeah.
Curtin, you can't do that. Curtin, you got to tie him up. It's you know he's going to come.
Why
get you
didn't
as soon as
Curtin
you
kill
fall
him?
asleep.
Like when Bogart was hiding behind the tree, about to pistol whip him in the head, and Curtin
Right.
sees him do that. Why isn't he like, dude, you're on your own. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
right.
I
Yeah.
asked the same question. It's like
He's
this
too
is
nice.
like,
That was his
you
friend.
can see he's fucking you over right now, right? And he's only
And also
getting
when he's
worse.
like, I'm about to
So,
fall
like,
asleep. If I fall asleep, he's going to kill me. I should probably do
Right.
something about this, as opposed to
Right.
just being like, I can stay awake.
It was
Honestly,
no surprise that
Yeah.
he killed him at that point. It was like zero surprise at that point.
I
right?
was shocked because I didn't think that Bogart had it in him.
Oh, you didn't think Bogey himself would do it?
No.
Or you didn't think his character?
Yeah, his character.
Ah.
I
I
have
was-
no like predetermined like notion of what Bogart can do as an actor. I just
Okay.
didn't think his character was going to do it because they were like,
Oh.
they were buds from the first time they sat down on that bench together.
Yeah, they're
I
pretty
was
friendly.
I was so tired for them that I was just like, you know what? If I was in the situation, I'd be like, you know what, dude, I'm fucking going to sleep. Do whatever you need to do. I'm done with this, and that'd be the end of it. I'm done.
They
I'm
did
going
that
to
really
bed.
good. Don't you think? Like the tiring, they really showed how tired they were. Just like walking.
Yeah, it reminded me how
over
tired
the
I
place.
was
No,
too.
they did it well. I was a bit annoyed just being like, yeah. I mean, they showed the fatigue really well, but that sequence bothered me because like Curtin, man, come on, you got to do something else. You can't just sit there and expect to hold. You're falling asleep. You got to go do something else here.
But that shot of Bogart when he's like crouched down, he looks like a chimpanzee almost. When then he like stands up like with his hands, he's like a T-Rex stance. His hair's all sticking up, all crazy. Yeah. That was awesome. I thought that shot was great. And then he kind of just like sulks towards him, takes the gun, kicks him.
Yeah.
Why not just shoot him on the ground though? Why walk him behind the tree?
I don't know. Well, part of it,
They wanted to shoot him off screen and let sound.
I was going to say, yeah, I imagine
For
that's
the
kind
film.
of the thing. Let's excuse us here for a moment. Come on, Kurt. Come on, we're going to go over here.
They almost had a really violent scene in this movie. They filmed it, but then it got cut. They had a scene where when Dobbs got his head chopped off by the bandit.
Yep.
TC, did you even know that Dobbs got his head chopped off?
No.
No, I didn't either when I watched it. And even with the commentary track, I rewound it 5 times during that scene because the commentator's like, when they were filming it, they filmed the scene where you can see the machete cutting Dobbs's head off and then his head rolling into the water hole. And they had to edit it down, obviously, because it's 1948. And that sounds pretty damn
That's
brutal.
not going to fly, yeah.
Yeah, they edited it, and the commentator was like, but you can still see, obviously, that the gold hat, the main bandit, is watching the head roll into the water. And there's like a half a second shot of his head moving from like left to right, and then that's it. So, I mean,
No.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
No, I
No.
didn't either.
Yeah.
And apparently,
No way.
and I looked for this too, and I couldn't see it, but you can see a little bit of splash in the pond because they use the same shot. They just cut it to the point where you can't see the head anymore. When they cut to them like starting to move the body, his head rolls into the water.
Thanks.
That would have been a little bit of a different movie if they had showed a decapitation of Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, and then
end of it.
when they were fighting over his shoes, that means they fell in the water with the head there.
Wait, did they fall in
The
the water?
one
They
guy
chased
did.
after the donkeys, didn't they?
Yeah, but didn't the two other bandits, like they were fighting over his shoes and then one fell into the water?
I'll
where
take your word for it, John.
presumably
You
the
proved
head
me
had
right
gone?
once. I won't have it again. I won't have it again. Not 2. Definitely not 2.
Not
Come on,
two.
Denny. Come
nope,
on.
not going to do it.
Maybe you should pull up the woman with the remote. And go
Oh,
check.
yes. We do have a full
Check.
version of it on YouTube here at
Yes.
at the ready here. Dobbs's character, when Curtin was trying to like make amends about Dobbs fronting $200 extra when he won the lottery or whatever,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and he tried to give him gold to compensate for it, Dobbs threw it on the ground, right?
Yeah.
That's a bad idea, isn't it? Like, that's kind
Yeah,
of
and
stupid.
I was like, that seems like, yeah, I don't get it. It's like,
If I were Curtin, I'd be like, all right. And then I just go scoop up like half dirt, half gold and be like, this is still pretty good.
right.
Still gold.
I still thought it was funny. Handsome, or the stranger, whatever his name is.
Handsome
What's the
Dan.
guy? Handsome Dan.
Handsome
Because he was pretty dashing. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna kill you. Oh wait, there's bandits. Hey friend, why don't you help us out here? And
Comrade, come on.
Hey, you got to do
So-
that. I like that. That would happen, right?
yes, but he's got to be sitting there thinking, all right, well, so we
yeah.
fight out the bandits. Then what? Why don't maybe he should just like run away?
Well,
There's
yeah,
nowhere to
during the
go.
fight, he should have run away for sure.
If
Maybe
he
that's
could,
why he
yeah,
got
if he had a
killed.
chance.
Because he was trying to run away.
Well, I was half suspecting that they were going to think that Bogart shot him himself during the fight, kind of mask it. But then you wouldn't want to do that because you'd be down a gun, and they felt like they needed all the personnel they could get to fight the bandits, I guess. But
yeah, and they did put him in front of everybody else, so if he like turned around to shoot them, they'd have the jump on him or whatever.
Yeah,
I liked it how the old guy was always thinking about beans. He was a very good hiker. They did like a long hike during the day, and then they get to the spot and they just like pass out on their packs, and he's like, "Hey guys, you should eat some beans. We got a long day tomorrow. You guys should have some beans." And then like the bandits are coming, and he's just like, "Guys, all right, we have an hour. Let's eat some beans.
yeah.
Got to get some energy."
I liked his attitude throughout the whole thing. He was just so steady about all that stuff.
Yeah. And whenever they were making decisions, he was always like, "Whatever you guys think is best is good with me." And you're like, "All right."
And then even when the good things happen, he's like, "Well, I'm a medicine man now. It's a pretty good life."
He's like, "I got young girls petting my face, and they give me tequila whenever I want. It's not bad." Dead donkey. Why was the donkey dead?
Exhaustion.
Water, maybe?
Yeah. Poor donkey.
Poor donkey. Yeah, but if Bogart was to learn anything from movies, it should have been that he should have cut open the donkey and crawled inside his belly for warmth at night.
They're in the desert. No need for warmth.
Gets really cold in the desert
at night. It might get cold.
I think that counts as strike 3.
That wasn't a pun.
It wasn't, but it was
stupid.
bad attempt.
Is that what you want to say?
Is that what you were going for?
Is that the word you wanted to use?
I think
don't know.
ridiculous, but the
It
other
is-
word?
lame. Lame is what comes up. there.
Lame duck. Got it.
Can't all be good. Like I'm getting no feedback anyway.
Yeah, you get nothing on this one.
Do
I'm
you
barely
get the
fucking-
reference? Having not seen Empire Strikes Back, I don't know if. What was the other movie where you
do not
crawl
get
into
the
the
reference.
animal?
The Revenant.
What was it? Didn't that happen in The Revenant?
Revenant. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought the reference
okay,
was.
yeah.
When Leonardo
That's
DiCaprio
true.
was riding on the Tauntaun, and he escaped the airplanes, but he had to hide in the snow overnight.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Somebody should YouTube a remake of The Revenant, and everything is the same except for Leonardo DiCaprio is riding on a Tauntaun until he jumps off the
Right.
cliff.
The fuck is a tauntaun?
It's
You'll learn.
It's
You'll
a monster
learn.
from Star Wars that you can ride on.
It's not
like
a
an
monster.
ostrich.
They are very friendly. They're quite intelligent too.
Yeah, and they're also good for sleeping in when you're stuck out in the snowstorm.
Right. And if you
Interesting.
cut them open, their insides look like packing peanuts.
What?
Something like that. Right, TC? Just say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready for some trivia?
Let's go.
I really stretched out that last 10 minutes, and I apologize to both of you in advance. Or,
Thank you. Thank you.
What's the opposite of advance? Now.
Afterwards.
The commentary was done by this guy named Eric Lax, who was a biographer, which I was dreading, but it was actually pretty good. All he didn't sound like an asshole. He just sounded like he was trying to give information, and he did that really efficiently. He just spouted off facts about the movie the entire time
nice.
pretty quickly. And a lot of the stuff in here I was interested in. I fear that you guys might not be interested in it, but here we go. As always, it's gonna be a rough 5 to 10 minutes. You ready for this?
Denny, it's okay. Denny.
I'm
Denny,
just
it's not your
prepping you
fault.
guys. I
It's not
feel
your fault.
totally fine.
It's
not your fault.
Denny. It's not your fault.
It's not gonna work
It's
this week, guys. It's not gonna work
It's
this
not
week.
your fault, Denny.
I've already cried. Did my
Denny.
yearly cry to
Yes.
Goodwill Hunting.
Denny.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
Thanks. I needed that.
Making me cry a little.
John Huston was the guy that gave the money to Dobbs in the beginning. The director / writer.
The white hat guy that did the 3 times, right?
He did it 3 times, yeah. And this is the first time that a father, so that's the director and writer, and his father was Walter Huston, who played the old gold miner. And they both won. John Huston won for directing and for writing, and Walter Huston won for best supporting actor, or best actor, one of the two, I forget. So he was directing his father. They both won awards. Later on, John Huston directed Angelica Houston to Best Actress Award, and he also won Best Director. So he both directed his father and daughter to Best Actor Awards.
Wow,
which is
what is
So that
Angelica
factoid,
Houston.
someone at work knew that factoid, and I was like, cool. He's like, see, I'd be better for this podcast than you. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. Yes, you
Oh,
would.
You know, that's cool. That's crazy.
Yes,
Can you
you
imagine
would.
taking like direction from your son or your father? That'd be, I mean, I don't act, but no one does that. I feel like that might be bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he pulling all the money into an account? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Back then, but like when it was all in the family anyway. Back in the 40s.
Well, what did Angelica Houston win for? What movie was that?
Parisi's Honor, 1985? Never heard of it.
Pritzi's Honor?
Prizzi's. Prizzi's?
Prizzi's.
Prissies?
Prizzi's. Prizzi''S.
Prissies.
Never heard of it. Anytime you see the Bogart from behind, it's not Bogart, it's a stand-in. They filmed simultaneously in Mexico and in Hollywood, and Bogart and most of the main actors started in Hollywood, and they flew down to Mexico for like some of the most important scenes. But only Bogart's face is Bogart. All of the behind shots are his double. And he didn't do really any of his own stunts. Nobody did any of their own stunts. Bogart didn't have any hair for this movie. He was taking steroids because he was trying to get his wife, Lauren Bacall, pregnant. And he was completely bald, and they built 3 wigs for him during the course of this movie. So none of the hair you see on his head was real.
Wow.
Did either of you guys notice that?
Not really. I mean,
No.
I just noticed I was more like, wow, it's quite the oil slick they're putting on him.
Oh,
there
that was
after
kinda
he got,
ugly.
like, shaved. Yeah.
The oil slick part was just like, dude, is that the haircut that you want? I'd fucking be mad at my barber if I walked out with that shit.
Huh. I know that's, with the lineup that was
Yeah.
all fucked up.
And then his hat didn't even fit because all of his hair was gone. It's gross. Bogart was like the most famous actor in the world back then. He had a $200,000 per movie deal with Warner, which was a record for the time.
Wow.
They did a lot of mixed shots, a lot of shots in Mexico, a lot of shots in the studio that were in the same scene. For example, when they were getting on like the boat to go work on that, towards the beginning of the movie for that guy that didn't end up paying him, there were shots of their faces walking like on a dock towards them with a bunch of barrels in the background. And then it cut to the opposite direction of a bunch of people like shuffling onto a flat docked boat or whatever one of those things are. Looks like a party boat kind of. Shot thousands of miles apart or hundreds of miles. How far away is Hollywood from Mexico? Not too far.
I mean, far enough.
I couldn't tell. Pretty good continuity. Positive things. No response. These are all things that are happening. The fight was also cut down due to brutality. Some papers in Mexico published stories about this movie right when they started filming, about how they were portraying Mexicans in like a really negative light. So they removed the permit for them. And then they had to like schmooze a couple people in the government to go and like smooth talk the people who are in charge of permitting and convince them that they weren't doing like stereotypes in any way.
Oh.
But they kind of were. I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah,
but
and what I read from the Wikipedia page too is that apparently you were supposed to send a little money to the editor of the newspaper there. Otherwise, you'd get in trouble, and they neglected to do that. And so then the newspaper printed these bad things.
Oh, so they didn't bribe the right people.
Then they went and they got the government involved and got the permits back and whatnot. So
John Huston does his own location scouting, and he traveled 8,000 miles in total to scout for locations for this movie. 8,000 miles. It's impressive, guys. It's very impressive.
yeah, dedicated to his craft.
They had people hired on the set called bush beaters. They would go around before takes, and they would scare snakes and certain other types of animals like lizards and shit. So the actors and the people with the mics and cameras and shit didn't get bit by rattlesnakes. Weird, guys. It's pretty weird. New shit for Hollywood. It's pretty new, pretty interesting. Interesting stuff here.
Gila monster was scary. I wonder where they wrangled that.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't really talk about that one. They did talk about some of the pranks that John Huston played on the people that
Like,
were in the
what would
movie.
he do?
They were pretty awful pranks, actually. Like one of them was before he didn't have Bogart stick his hand underneath the rock. One of the versions of the movie was he did stick his hand underneath the rock, but he put a mousetrap in there. So Bogart got his fingers snapped in a mousetrap, which is not nice. You guys ever seen a mousetrap?
That's not nice at all.
No, those things would fucking hurt. A lot. They kill mice. They snap mice's necks and spray blood all over the place. You shouldn't put like an actor's fingers in there. There was also one where John Huston told Bogart where the premiere of the movie was, and Bogart and his wife drove there only to get there. And he like drew a crowd of people, and they were like, "Oh my God, Humphrey Bogart, cool." But he was like, "All right, where's the theater? Like, what is this?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "There's supposed to be a premiere here for this movie I'm in." They're like, "That's not here." So then he later figured out that Huston gave him the wrong location, and he was like an hour and a half away from where he was supposed to be, and he missed the premiere.
Oh my God.
Funny prank.
Wow.
So here's Hollywood for you. Or I don't even know if this is Hollywood. I guess this is Hollywood. The rock that the Gila monster hit under was a 600-pound rock, and they shot for a day with that rock. But towards the end of the day, it snapped in half into 2 300-pound chunks. But they still needed some more shots. So as soon as the day was over, they rushed the 2 300-pound chunks somewhere they knew where they could get something molded and made a replica of. And they did that overnight. So at the beginning of the next day, they had like a cast and plaster duplicate of the rock ready for the next day of shoots. Because apparently that amount of work and money is cheaper than filming another day, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they were already like way over budget too.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like they were way over budget, but they had convinced everybody that was producing by the time they started shooting that it was going to cost as much, as it needed to cost. They were initially given $1.8 million, which is a huge amount of money for the time. And the estimates of how much it ended up costing were $2.5 to $3.5 million. And it didn't make that much money in the theaters.
Oh, you don't say.
Is now a classic.
Tis it?
It is.
Come on, laugh with me, John.
It's funny. It took an hour and so half of our lives away.
I know how much TC loves these Hollywood stories. Bogart was pissed off because John Huston would not give him like an ending date. Like the production was going over and over when it was supposed to end initially. He missed one of his like boat races in Hawaii or some shit like that because Bogart was a big boater. So he was pissed off about that. He started getting like real sassy and upset with Huston because he's like, dude, when's this movie gonna end? And Huston would never tell him. And one day when he was at dinner with Huston and Bogart's wife was there too, he was complaining about it like out loud, getting really riled up. And John Huston grabbed him by the nose and twisted his nose really hard to the point where like the wife was screaming to stop. And you're hurting him. And like John Huston was like, yeah, he needs this, like twist his nose. And they left all pissed off at each other after that dinner. But then I don't know if it was the next day, but like the next time they saw each other, Bogart was the one who apologized to John Huston for like getting out of line, I guess. That's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like the director just completely dominated Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up, Bogart, twist your nose, and you apologize to me.
Twist your nose.
Can you imagine twisting somebody's nose? Like pinch their nose and twist it? That would fucking hurt.
Like that's your out? That's your out? Like, no, I got this one saved up for any time I'm in trouble. I'm fucking twisting that nose. Yeah. Great. That's a good fighting move. I'm going to try it out sometime. Dude's like shit talking you in your face at the bar, and then you just like grab his fucking nose and twist. You're like, yeah, that's right, Bogart.
Walter Huston, the old gold miner, didn't know Spanish before making this movie, and he didn't really know Spanish while being in the movie. But what his son did is he sent him a bunch of records with his lines recorded in Spanish so we could listen to him. And he just listened to him over and over again and got really good saying the lines in Spanish.
That's a good workaround.
It kind of is.
I guess people thought he could speak the language. I guess he did. I mean, he sounded very good.
He did sound pretty
very
good.
Convincing, yeah.
So you just couldn't have a conversation because he had no idea what the fuck he was saying.
Right. If someone came up to him after the movie and said, like, you did a good job in Spanish, he would have no idea what they were saying to him.
Come again?
Yeah.
Come again? Yeah. Sorry, could you put that on a record and play it 5 times? Maybe I'll get it.
Bogart's, so it was a lot of closed sets during the filming of this movie because Bogart's acting style was somewhat of a secret for some reason. Well, not for some reason. Here's why. They let this one person during the commentary track come and talk about her experience. She was some student at some like school that, I don't know, won an award or knew some of the directors or producers or something. She was allowed on the set and saw how Bogart acted. There was during the scene where he was filming him talking to himself after killing his friend Curtin, or him thinking that he killed Curtin. And in between takes, he would have a chair offset and he would go, like he would do the take perfectly, quote unquote, perfectly, and go over to the chair when they call cut. And he would lay down backwards in the chair and start writhing around and screaming obscenities for the entire time. And then like he would do that for, minutes on end. And he would finally like start settling himself down. And then as soon as he was like settled, he'd get up and then like he'd walk back to his spot to begin. And John Huston would be like, action. And then he'd just do another take and it'd be perfect again. And they did take after take like that.
Jeez, it's like a madhouse.
Yeah.
Just on a set.
How does he figure out that that's a good strategy for him? That's what I want to know. He's like, all right, I tried everything, literally everything. And this chair yelling thing is the thing that works for me.
It's written into my contract. Don't fuck with me when I start going to hit the chair, okay?
Yeah.
They didn't bring the lazy boy out here in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm quitting.
And if anybody else would figure this out, they'll all be as great an actor as I am. So I don't want anybody to know about this.
Or just to like, I don't know. Maybe just to knock him down a peg and be like, you think he's a good actor, but actually he's crazy.
That could be it, actually.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, doing what you got to do a good scene.
Yeah.
Sure. Huston had a lot of encounters with bandits in the 1920s when he was traveling when he was younger. Like actual bandits. He was in a train in Mexico in the 1920s, and the train before him and the train after him both got robbed at gunpoint. So he like narrowly missed being murdered by bandits.
Wow. That scene in the train was sort of lightly done. It's like, yeah, we're shooting bandits, getting shot
everyone
here.
get their guns out. Ooh, they're coming.
It just seemed to be sort of a lighthearted like gunfight.
They always do the thing too where they point the gun. It's just like to shoot the gun, you kind of have to throw the bullets out of the front of the gun.
Yeah.
That's like old timey Western crap. Wouldn't you just aim, and keep like a steady arm and pull the trigger a bunch of times.
You gotta push it. You gotta follow through.
Yeah, you got to punch the gun. You got to air punch the gun to make the bullets come out.
Right.
Here's a fun fact about element, you guys. Gold is too heavy to be blown away by wind.
Ah.
So if they did dump a bunch of gold powder,
even wind from jet engines,
even jet engine wind, and even the finest powder, like the finest particles of gold, would not move because they're so heavy.
wait a minute. I don't know
How
if I
can
buy
that
that. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that.
Okay, I mean,
does
I
it
have nothing
depend
to
on-
back it up except for the commentary guy said it. So
Does
there
it
you go.
depend on like the weight or something? I mean, because like it's just like a. I don't care anyway. Give a shit.
No, I mean it definitely has to do with you
Fine,
know.
no matter how small it is, it can't be blown away. I don't think that works.
That's a really good
Whatever.
point. That's a really
That's how
good point.
science works.
Anyway,
it's a
thanks,
Superman
commentary
of
guy.
elements.
I got one more piece of trivia.
All right.
This movie was extremely hard to market, which is why they blamed like the poor showing in the box office. They even went as far to show in the trailers, they inserted quote unquote beautiful women behind the main actors of this movie in the trailers to sell the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they didn't know how to do it because it was, dark and Bogart didn't look good because he was always covered in dirt and stuff. And they're just like,
right,
but beautiful women, come to the theaters, everyone. Probably pissed everyone off that went to the
Don't
theaters.
worry, they won't be there, but they might be.
As long as we get your money, there's no internet for any, well, you can only tell your friends. You can't complain on a wide platform. So maybe we'll get away with it.
They lied. Stop. It was a scam. Stop. Yeah, right. I don't know.
That's all I got, guys.
It's a quick one, huh?
Not really.
it's okay.
56
No,
minutes.
it's already been an hour. Fuck me.
Yeah. You got a nice little nap there in the middle, TC. I hope you
I
did.
think I might have actually. I think
Yeah.
I might have fell asleep.
Nice.
Just look.
Oh, well,
What?
I'm excited for next week.
What's that?
What do we got?
We got.
Wait a minute. We got to do the top 250 question, and we also need to hear from Timmy.
How about Timmy? Would you put this in the top 250?
I don't think so, Danny.
Jimmy, would you put this in the top 250?
Fuck no, Danny.
No, isn't that John's Jimmy? Timmy?
No, I thought he said Timmy twice. It's so fucking tired.
Jimmy.
Oh,
I've been walking from the desert trying to mine gold.
Would you
yeah.
walk
Where's
through
your
the
two
desert
buddies,
to get gold?
TC? All right, what?
I don't know. I'm jealous. I don't know where the fuck they are, but fuck them. They're going to kill me. I know that much.
TC, would you say yes or no? Top 250?
Oh, no.
John, would you?
No.
I would. Next week, we're going to watch the 2005 movie. 2005, guys. Just think about that. Whatever I say next
thank
is
God.
going to
Breath
be
of
good.
fresh air. Yeah, breath of fresh air.
Batman Begins.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Christopher
I can do
Nolan.
this. Fucking A.
After training his mentor, Batman begins his fight to free crime-ridden Gotham City from corruption. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for
That's
showing
it?
up.
Please don't rate and subscribe our podcast. Do not do that. It is not possible.
Not off
Don't
this
even look for it.
episode. The thing about rate and subscribe, like if it's small enough, the wind, it just won't blow it away. So whatever you put, it's not going anywhere.
That's true.
So.
I don't understand it, but I think that's true. All right, guys.
Folks, boys, folks, whatever. I'm fucked.
Oh, it's okay, guys. It's okay.
It's okay, guys. It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll do it.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
This is a journey, guys. We're walking through the desert here. We're searching for the gold. I think we're still searching for the gold.
We're searching.
We're searching for gold. All right. Talk to you guys next week.
All right, guys. See ya.
Stop 'em.